Okay, so we know that the slope of a line is simply its rise over its run. We're talking about the y values over the x values. And forgive my voice, you know I was screaming for my baby at the coronation because my baby did win the queen, remember? Okay, so the y values and the x values come from the equation, okay? You can plug in some x values and get the y values and then make your t-chart here and plot your line. I'm gonna assign some values to x, plug them in like a function and get a y value, right? When you plot that line, you will see its slope. And when we think of a slope, I just think of like a ramp, okay? How steep or how high the incline is. Remember that incline plane? We want to know how much does it slope, okay? Now, our slope can be positive or negative. But when we put an equation into this form here, it tells us a lot about the line without even knowing what it looks like. Slope intercept form is going to be y equals mx plus b. This value m here is going to actually be our slope. I keep doing that stuff. So when I write on the board right in front, okay? So this is going to be the slope, okay, that m value. Now, is this equation that I have here, 3y equals 6x plus 5, is it in standard slope intercept form? Is it? It could be if this 3 wasn't here. So how do I make it look like this? Remember, whenever you're solving for something, we want it to look like this, right? So what do I need to do? What's over here with this? Well, I always hear my voice. What's over here with this thing that I need to get rid of to make it look like this? The 3. How do I get rid of a 3 that's multiplied by something? It's the opposite of multiplying.
Divide.
So we're going to divide both sides by 3. Get to it, ladies. Get to it, absolutely. She's smart. My baby got smart friends. And they cute too. All this black on. We blacked out today, okay? So what do we end up with here? 6x over 3. I'm just gonna do it a little fancier now. Ooh, a fraction. Don't get scared when you see fractions. Didn't we talk about that last night? When you see a fraction, don't even worry about it. Just deal with it, okay? Leave it and deal with it. So we're almost in slope intercept form. I can simplify this though right here, can I? So let's go ahead and do that. Y equals, what's 6 divided by 3?
2.
Well, why y'all didn't say? Y'all making me think something wrong. Call your mamas and say, I don't know, girl. I don't know. I taught your mama. Okay. So now we have slope intercept form. And even though it looks crazy, if your choice on the test was, what is the slope of this line based on this equation? What's the slope? Say it. 2. Okay. So m equals 2. So your slope equals 2. Just from looking at this equation. The b, I didn't tell you up here, is your y-intercept. Who's going to tell me what that means? Y-intercept. What am I talking about? Nobody knows when they having a test on Friday. Where's the x? This is the x-axis and this is the y, right? So y-intercept is going to be wherever this line is going to cross the y-axis. Okay? That's where it intercepts the y-axis. If I had numbers on here, that would be intercept at what? 2. Understood? So yeah, go ahead and write this over as a little sidebar somewhere and show yourself with an arrow that this is the y-intercept. How you missed that in class? Okay? Y-intercept. So this value b here is the y-intercept. And I told you that this is what, 1. We're going to say this is 2, 3, 4. So this will be what? What value here? This 1, this is
Negative.
absolutely -2, -3. And I know y'all remember these little guys. These are the positives and these are the negatives. That is what we're talking about. We're talking about this y-axis, okay? So this one would be at 2. Taking a look, if I tell you that b here is the y-intercept, looking at our equation we have here now in standard, in y-intercept form, what is my y-intercept?
5/3.
5/3. 5/3. Now I can simplify this and it would be what? What's 5 divided by 3? I told you don't be scared of fractions. You've been doing it since 2nd grade. 3 going to 5 how many times?
1.
And you left with how many? 3, 4, 5, 2/3. 1 and 2/3. Simple. We just dividing 5 by 3. Somebody was blinking, looking at me crazy, so I'm gonna make sure you understand this is 5/5. 5/3. 5/5. 3/3. I'm sorry, y'all. 3/3, which is what? 1. And what was left over? 2 more. 3 plus 2 is what? 5/3. This plus this is 5/3. So I changed the 3/3 to 1. How did I do that? I just did the division. 3 going to 5. 1 times 5. 3, 4, 5, 2 left over. 1 and 2/3. If you're looking crazy, you'll ask me for an app about fractions, okay? Or we'll just do some more. This is your little basic stuff. And this is the stuff that trips you up and scares you when you see it on the test. But do not be. Work with it, okay? So now that you know that it's 1 and 2/3, we're going to draw a different line here. I don't want this. We're going to draw a different line here for this intercept. What's my intercept? 1 and 2/3. So where is 1? Here?
Yeah.
Who cooks? Everybody. Where's a half? Here. So where's a third? Here, and that's 2/3. So my y-intercept would be right here. Ooh. That lady did 1 and 2/3 on the graph. She could have made a fraction. She could have made a decimal. She could have left it 5/3. You with me? So, now that I know this, I can also, I know my slope is what? 2. So it's going to be going up 2 and over 2. I can keep doing that. And now I have a line that's kind of like the one I drew on the board. I don't know how I did that craziness, but you see where the intercept, y'all did it too? I didn't mean to make that diagonal like that. I should have tried to do something different, maybe a negative slope. But do you understand that that's how you use this equation here to do a lot of stuff and answer a lot of questions? All right? So that's the y-intercept, the slope intercept form. If you're given an equation and it's not in this form and you're asked these questions, put it in this form. The same way we did here. All right? Okay. All right, let me see what y'all faces look like now that y'all had a little lesson. Y'all was cute at first. Let's see what y'all looking like now. Let's see if everybody all right. Oh, you survived. All right, now when Lania gets here, we'll talk about something else. We may not do this, but we definitely got to get our blue thing on the screen. Okay? Good job, ladies. Tricked them when they walked in the door. I can't help they look
This
cute.
your snacks. It is. Hey, where you from?
He didn't get a chance to eat his food stuff. So, ladies, what did we talk about today?
We talk about slope intercept.
Very good.
And rise of a line.
Okay, Langston. Okay. Wasn't even here. Good job. What do we talk about? The standard form?
Yeah.
Which is?
How to graph y equal mx plus b.
That's my daughter. Very good. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. So, what is M? What is M?
Slope.
Very good. That's my baby daughter. Katie. Tell them, baby. And what's the B?
The y.
That's
the y-intercept.
Very good. The y-intercept.
That's another question. Right. Ask her a question next.
So, ladies, when we graph using that form, and we want to know where to put the y-intercept, what letter are we looking at in that form for the y-intercept? What letter in the form of y equals mx plus b? What letter do we look at to know? What letter denotes the y-intercept? B. Very good. B. Okay. No, it's okay. Just look over that part. So that was good. Y'all heading to the Six Flags? All right. Be good. Be safe.
Okay. Have a Six Flags.
Have a quiz when y'all get back.
We're not coming back. I'm ready.
Okay then.
Yeah,
And welcome,
I'm ready.
Lania. Okay, y'all. Good job. Bye. Bye. That was that quiz.